Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to Rambling Runoff Sports Podcast. I am your host, Robert Rios. And with me, as always, never mind. Actually, today, everybody, just to mix it up, and as I promised before, we got another co-host today, Mr. Daniel Tom. Daniel Tom, say what's up to the people.
What is up, everybody? It's good to be back on the Ramblin' Runoff with Mr. Rios once again.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Of course, everybody, like as we've previously mentioned in the last episode and the last episode, Daniel was going to be gone from the mic. So, as I said last time, we got Mr. Daniel Tom. The only thing
one Daniel leaves, one Daniel enters.
Well, his name's Danny, but close enough.
Yeah, same thing.
Close enough because both your initials are DT.
See? See, you can't get enough of the DT, so you gotta bring in one to fill in for the other.
When you say DT, I think of defensive tackle.
Sadly, I don't have the figure of a defensive tackle.
I don't have the figure either.
I mean, I could be the place kicker, the long snapper, or the water boy, so you tell me.
Well, I'm going to say water boy, like you're drinking water. And just to let everybody know, we're not in the same room. We're on the digitals once again. But yeah.
The greatness of technology.
Yes, of course. And yeah, we have a good show for everybody today. We're going to be going over some college football playoffs. If you guys remember, we did a podium show with Daniel back like a month or two ago about the college football season. So we're going to go over that a little bit. The MLS playoffs just wrapped up. We're going to talk about the MLS Cup now. It's going to be happening very soon. And for the warm-up returning, we're going to go describe and explain a little bit the Mlb Lockout that just occurred. And also returning is the rundown. So stick around towards the end to hear that. But yeah, that's our show topics for today. And yeah, we'll go into them in just a moment. But first, Daniel, what you been up to, man? Let the people know what's been going on in your life.
I mean, the last time I was on this show, what was it, like 3 months ago? Maybe like late 4 months ago.
We did the MLB one too, remember? We did MLB postseason.
I forget we did the playoff.
We were supposed to do the World Series, but oops. But anyway, I mean, it doesn't matter. All our brackets got busted, so.
Yeah, that's sports and life for you. Work's been keeping me busy. For those who know, I do public address announcing on the side, so that's been keeping me busy since the end of August, and we're in December now. So football for me is done. I've jumped right into basketball head on. I started working Division I back in September. I'm in my first year at Long Beach State, so everybody's keeping me busy this time of year. So I don't know if I'd rather be sitting behind a desk at a 9 to 5, but I'm very much happy with what I've been doing. Besides that, just work, no social life. So this is my definition of social life. Sitting here on a podcast, talking sports with Mr. Rios.
You have no social life? That's a lie.
Look, you know what? You see my Instagram stories. You know all I do is work nowadays. And if not, I'm probably at a SC game at the Coliseum, but I'll get to that later.
But like that is a social life. You get to go watch basketball.
I get paid to watch basketball. Let's make that clear. I'm paid to watch basketball.
Even better. You just made something very lame sound very cool.
You got to just have fun with it.
You were trying to paint yourself negative, but it came up positive. How's that even possible? You're a fool.
It's just legend thing. Just legend things, as Jeremy would say.
There you go. Another one of our former guests on the show, Jeremy Gonzalez. Shout out to him. But yeah, sounds good, man. Me personally, I've just been working as well. You know, just being on that grind. Like I mentioned before, I just started a new job. So yeah, things have been good. It's just, I've been noticing it's been very, very cold. And I do not like the cold. I mean, I don't like the heat either, but I think I'd rather be hot than cold. Because, you know, when it's hot, you can jump into the shower, take a cold shower, jump into the pool, take a dip, swim around. When it's cold, you can make yourself a cup of hot cocoa, hot chocolate. But then what? You know?
So are you saying you would rather live in a humid like Florida
No,
climate.
I said heat, not humid. Those are two different things, dog.
Well, you said I don't like the cold, but I also don't like hot. So if we're talking down the middle, in Florida, you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, but in Florida, it also rains for like an hour for no reason.
That's Florida weather on crack for you.
Yeah, no, I'm not dealing with that. But yeah, would you like to start going into some sports topics? Because this is a sports podcast.
I thought this was just a social hour, but I guess this is a sports podcast, so
You
why
said
not?
you have no social life and you just want to talk to me. All right, I get it, fool. But we gotta do what we came here for. I know
Right.
this is your first regular Rambling Runoff episode, so we do things a little bit different here, and we're not gonna take no damn 2 hours as our other episodes.
Oh, come on. You're no fun.
No, that's not what we're here for.
I know.
What we are here for is to talk about some college football, which may or may not be disappointing to you. However, you may have seen it. So yeah, college football playoffs are set and ready to go.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. It's been forever. It feels like forever. But yeah,
I keep thinking back to the podium show we did in August and how we thought the playoff was going to go. I don't know if either of our predictions were correct, but
mine's aren't. My winning team is not even nowhere even near here. But I don't remember your team. But anyways,
at least I know I got 2 out of the 4 right. I don't know if I had 2 who I had as my other 2.
I don't even remember. But what we could tell our listeners is that there are 4 teams and they are in the playoffs. And those 4 teams are Alabama, Cincinnati, Michigan, and Georgia. How does that sound to you?
I mean, if you would have told me in September you have a group of 5 team in Cincinnati who's now playing for a spot in the national championship game.
Hey, we said they were going to be good. Hey, we said they were going to be good. You're tripping.
I did say they were going to be good, and I said this is a team you probably need to watch out for. I didn't expect them.
You didn't expect them to actually do it. Wow, you suck.
Well, I mean, I did predict the Notre Dame upset way back in August, so I will give myself that.
Well, there you go. I mean, Notre Dame finished in the top 6 at least.
I think Notre Dame did finish 6th.
Yeah, so even with I want to say crappy, but decent Notre Dame team. I mean, they did pretty well technically in the standings. But as you have told me off show in text form, this committee doesn't know what they're doing, because I also kind of agree. Because on the socials, I said, hey, everybody, this top 4, top 6, it kind of sucks. Would you like to explain why these teams in the New Year's 6 bowl game suck?
Are we talking New Year's 6 or are we talking college football playoff?
Well, both, because they both get selected anyway. You got the first 4 in and the first 2 out. Come on, man. Give us the program.
I just feel with the way the committee set up this bracket this year, just with how everything conference championship wise went, they want to see a part 2 of the SEC championship between Georgia and Alabama. Georgia came into the SEC championship game ranked number 1 in the CFP, meaning everybody expected Georgia to give Alabama a battle, but not necessarily blow them out. The exact opposite happened, and Alabama took to Georgia, and it really kind of just screwed up what the playoff should have been.
That was all experience in that game.
An Alabama loss would have meant a Bama-less playoff for the second time in who knows how long, and that gives Oklahoma State a chance to get in if they beat Baylor, if they don't stop them at the 1-yard line on a 4th and 1. But that didn't happen. You had Alabama easily handle Georgia, so this makes Alabama's case for a playoff run clear, that even as a 1-loss conference champion, they should get in, which I felt has always been an issue with the college football playoff and why I want to see the field expanded. But seeing a team like Cincinnati being from a non-Power 5 get a shot at this shows things are changing in the college football landscape. But the fact that you put Cincinnati at 4 just to get them to meet Bama in round one shows how manipulative this playoff system is, to where we just want to see the biggest and best teams go at it for a chance to win a title.
Well, I mean, at some point, Alabama was seen as an underdog, and that hasn't happened in a really long time. And to answer your question, Alabama missed the playoffs in 2019.
It would have been even better if they missed it in 21.
I mean, probably. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get to watch a lot of Alabama games, but I didn't hear much hype. Like, this is probably the most, how do you explain this? Like, not balanced, but most evenly matched Alabama team in regards to the landscape of college football I've seen it forever, anytime. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
like, they weren't scary. Like, this was not a scary Alabama team. Like, this was a more toned down, like, all right, we could go out and beat these guys type of Alabama.
But then again, Alabama didn't bring any attention to themselves, which is what Nick Saban normally is known for. Like, he's not a flashy coach who wants everybody watching him every week.
No,
he just lets his players play, do the talking, which
he lets the football do the talking. No, yeah, I mean, that's how you make noise. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I ain't hear nothing coming out from Alabama. I'm like, all right, so are they good or what?
And even the one loss they had to Texas A&M back in, like, I want to say it was week 7. Like, yeah, it was a big deal at the time, but we all knew one loss wasn't going to knock out Alabama.
Yeah, but it was to Texas A&M.
The fact they took Auburn to overtime and still won just shows what direction this program is headed in.
You mean that it took them overtime to beat them?
I mean, yeah, not only did it take overtime to beat them, but they're willing to play as one cohesive unit and not fold when it gets tough. Because
I mean, they folded before against Auburn, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! They're not gonna keep them off the field tonight.
Do we have the audio of the kick 6 from 2013?
That was it.
No, I want the real one. I want Rod Bramblett walking me through that. I'm sorry, Robert. You're not Rod Bramblett.
I mean, it was just a radio broadcast that just went viral. So, I mean, it was good. I still watch it every once in a while.
I think when you edit this later, I think you need to add that audio over you.
I'm not going to add that audio because I'm going to get copyright strike claimed again for no reason.
Have you been copyrighted before?
Yes. Have you not listened to the show?
I've listened to the show. I just didn't know you got flagged for copyright.
Have you not listened to the show? Come on, bro. Give us the program again. Man, you noob. But yeah, I mean, if we could just jump to the game really quick. Alabama, Cincinnati, what are they in? The Cotton Bowl? I want to say, all right, look, remember I told you this, like, college football, like, I love college football, but unfortunately, like, life steers me in and out. So when I hear the names of the schools, I'm like, okay, this team is usually good. All right, this team is usually bad. Oh, okay, this team, like, if you tell me a crappy team did really good, I'm gonna be really surprised. But for most people, like, if I were to tell you Alabama, like, yeah, Alabama's good, right? But what me and you are discussing is that Alabama isn't that scary this year. Excuse me. So I think Cincinnati has a chance.
I think Cincinnati does its best to keep it close. I just think with the strength Alabama has on their roster, I don't think this is something Cincinnati has seen before. Granted, the Cincinnati team beat 6th-ranked Notre Dame earlier this season and essentially kept Notre Dame out of the playoff, even if the Irish would have won out this year. But I don't think Cincinnati matches up to what Alabama brings to the table, and I think Alabama puts their foot in the gas in the second half and wins.
I mean, yeah, I would say that the advantage Alabama has in any pro or sports or experienced athlete has is experience. Like, this Cincinnati's first time in the top 4, not even just Cincinnati's first time. This is a non-Big 5 conferences team first time in the top 4 in the playoffs. New Year's 6 bowl game, like, opportunity. So what are they gonna stand out on top of the crowd, or are they going to crumble and be left in the dirt dead?
Well, let's just look at what Alabama did in Notre Dame last year. I don't think we're going to see a similar result. I just don't think Cincinnati has the strength to.
It wasn't even a game. It wasn't even a game.
It wasn't a game. It really wasn't.
It was just like I was watching college football NCAA 2012 simulation.
I forget these days that game used to exist.
Same, dude. But you want to know what does exist?
Real football.
Yeah, the Orange Bowl. And in the Orange Bowl, we got Michigan versus Georgia. And to add to the fact that Alabama is facing Cincinnati, and to add to Daniel's argument, if Georgia defeats Michigan, which, I mean, Michigan's also not a good team, we're just going to get another Georgia v. Alabama game, which we just saw this past week.
It was.
So what was the point? But then again, I love underdogs. So give me Michigan all day. But then again, I don't mind if Georgia wins, to be honest. I think it's just the Cincinnati-Alabama game that just bugs me a lot.
I really
it's
like
the whole thing.
You don't like seeing a group of 5 in the playoff?
No, I want Cincinnati to win. No, I don't want what you want. I don't want Georgia to face Alabama.
Right.
I just let me put it to you like this. I feel like the committee got it right. This is gonna sound weird, right? The committee got it right. They just got the order wrong.
I think it should have been Cincinnati, Michigan, and then the winner of that plays for a national championship against the winner of Alabama, Georgia. That's how
exactly.
It really should have been.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just got the order wrong. Like, screw whoever is number one in the country. Like, if you want Georgia, even though they lost, to be number one, just put them as number one. I mean, it's not the first time that this is back in the BCS day, or BCS or whatever it's called, whatever it was called back in the day.
I miss those I miss the
computer. No, I don't miss no damn computers. Shut up. But you could have kept Georgia number one.
Computers?
No, I don't miss the computers. What was the point? If we could have had Georgia number one, and you could have had Cincinnati number two. Wait. No, you could have had Georgia number one, Alabama number two, and then Cincinnati and Michigan coming in at 3 and 4. And you would have been fine. Right?
Yeah, you could have been fine there.
Is that how it works? Did I do my math right?
Well, it's the one plays 4, 2 plays 3. So
okay, it would have been then you would have Georgia number 4, Alabama number 1, and then Cincy against
2, Michigan 3.
Yeah, okay, there you go. My bad, everybody. I'm not good at math.
But if we're still on that Orange Bowl topic, I really love this Michigan-Georgia matchup on paper. I never would have thought a team like Michigan, who at the beginning of the season, you already knew Jim Harbaugh was on the hot seat, just because throughout his entire tenure at Michigan, he never won a Big Ten crown.
It's not even the hot seat. He's in a volcano.
He hadn't beaten Ohio State in his entire tenure as Michigan head coach. Now, you beat Ohio State for the first time in 8 years, and you win the Big Ten championship, and you get to the playoff when you were a preseason FPI 0.01 chance to make the field at the beginning of the season. So it just goes to show what kind of a culture change Michigan instituted during the offseason. Now you're a game away from playing for a national championship. And don't get me wrong, Georgia has proven to me all year why they're number one. However, when it comes to big games, and you can say the last time Georgia played for a national championship against Alabama, let's remember the famed Tua Tagovailoa in the 2nd and 26 play call, the dime from the 50 to the end zone to win the national title. Is Georgia going to let that happen again?
Yes.
Give me Michigan in the national championship game against Alabama. Go blue.
That go blue at the end. Yo, that blue and
the maize and blue.
Yep. I don't know. All right. All right. So I don't know. I just want to see Cincy and Michigan play. I mean,
I'm pretty sure Georgia was my preseason pick to win it all, too, which I think is sad now that I think about it.
I had Clemson.
Yeah.
I remember, okay, the only reason why I don't remember your pick is because I told you when we did the show, I said, all right, on the count of 3, say your pick. I went 1, 2, 3, and I said Clemson, and I don't know what the hell you said.
I'm pretty sure I said Georgia.
I think you probably said Alabama.
No, I think I said this was Georgia's year to get it done. I mean, they still can. I think Michigan has gotten hot at the right time to make a run for it. And I really hope they do.
I'll put it to you like this. All right, to make it simpler. In the final, I want it to be anything but Alabama v. Georgia. Is that cool? It could be Alabama v. Michigan or Cincinnati v. Michigan, Cincinnati v. Georgia. And that's it. I don't want the other one. Okay, if I get the other one, I'm not going to watch it because that's a waste of time.
Well, what if you do get another Georgia-Alabama rematch?
I just said I'm not going to watch it.
But it's the national championship game. I feel like you would have to watch some of it just for content for the upcoming show.
I mean, I'll be looking at it on the socials. I'll be all right, let me see the highlights real quick.
What kind of sports fan are you?
I'm a sports fan that knows what I like. And I'm pretty sure my listeners and other fellow college football enthusiasts would agree, and you also agreed with me technically, that another Alabama v. Georgia game is a waste of time.
It's useless, but I love this sport too much to not watch it. So, yeah, I'll be tuning in on January 10th.
All right, there you go. If you would like, you could go to Daniel Tom's watch party and go watch golf or something, whatever he's going to have on his TV on that day. I mean, I might as well go watch golf because I'm not going to watch that. Why would I go waste my time?
You know what? Why don't we just jump off the playoff train?
Well,
and we
have more games. I said there's 6 bowl games.
We have the famed New Year's 6.
Yeah, we got the Peach Bowl with the number 10 team, Michigan State, going up against Pittsburgh, or Pitt, as they're commonly known, which
Pitt. Let's go Pitt.
Yeah, and as I said, if a crappy team does well, I'd be surprised to see him here, and I am surprised to see Pitt. I mean, they've had decent seasons in the past, but I guess this is where they finally got together and they got into the top 25, like a good solid top 25 appearance. So yeah, number 12, Pitt versus Michigan in the Peach Bowl. And the Fiesta Bowl, we got, who we mentioned before, number 5, Notre Dame, going up against number 9, Oklahoma State. And then the other bowl game,
granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, the granddaddy of them all. Down there at Pasadena with the Roses, the Rose Bowl, number 11, Utah will be facing number 6, Ohio State. And correct me if I'm wrong, Utah defeated Oregon, correct, to be in this position?
That is correct. Utah came out and surprised everybody this year. Won the Pac-12.
When you say surprise, that should also mean an upset, correct?
I truly mean that. And
when everybody thought UCLA was going to be there.
After what their last few games were, and I'm not even including like their November slate, it's just after the Oregon game in late October, I felt the energy of UCLA kind of die. But I remember saying in the podium show, Oregon was going to get to the championship game, but then again, I didn't expect USC to finish 4-8. So, yeah, my predictions were wrong all across the board.
I mean, I want to say it was Oregon's Pac-12 South to lose, because besides UCLA, who else is going to compete for the Pac-12 South? Usually it's always someone random. Because either all of them Trojan lovers are going to say it's USC, and it's always someone random for no reason. So who is going to win it? And this year, the Pac-12 North, it was Oregon that was going to come out victorious from the North. But I'm pretty sure no one would have thought Utah would have sprung out of nowhere and won the championship for them.
Then again, you have to kind of look back of what transpired in the Conference of Champions this year. And the fact that Oregon needed a win in the final week of the regular season just to get into the Pac-12 championship game says a lot of what's gone on this year when you have teams like Oregon State and Washington State waiting on the final day to find out, am I going to go play for a Pac-12 championship in Vegas next week? But then again, never count Oregon out at home. Oregon's always been a dangerous team when they're at Autzen.
That is also true. But hey, that's the sport for you. I think it makes it more entertaining, more valuable when you have to wait. You know? I mean, not that I want it to be a landslide before the end of the season, but when there's a little bit to gamble, you know? Or don't gamble, it's not good. But it's a little more worth it. You feel me?
No, I feel you. And just based on what transpired this year in the North, I'm really excited to see now that Washington State's made a coaching change, how Wazoo is going to wind up in the next few years, especially now that Mario Cristobal is gone from Oregon. Oregon's in search for a new head coach.
Why would you get rid of your head coach? That makes no damn sense. But before we get to that, I want to get to that also. The last game from the New Year's Six is the Sugar Bowl, which has number 8 Ole Miss facing up against number 7 Baylor, which, correct me if I'm wrong again, Baylor also not a surprise team to be here, no?
Bring me the Dave Aranda effect. This was a Baylor team who was the laughingstock of the Big 12 just not even 3 years ago. They make a coaching change. Here comes local boy Dave Aranda, born and raised in Southern California and played his D3 ball at the University of Redlands. He was on track to potentially go for another job. After a successful year at LSU, he jumped ship to go to Baylor. He brings the Bears all the way back, gets a stop on 4th and 1 to capture the Big 12 championship. What a time to be alive.
Who did they beat again?
They beat Oklahoma State.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I remember the highlight in my head. That game-winning tackle at the 1-yard line. That guy missed the pylon by a yard. That is crazy.
I'm getting a lot of Marshawn Lynch vibes at the Super Bowl. You just need that 1 yard, bro.
They weren't technically at the 1 yard line, but he missed it by a yard. Like, dude, you can't write this stuff. But yeah,
God, I love this sport.
hey man, college football can be gnarly sometimes. But would you say this season was weird? Like, did you get like I mean, not that like oh, like I don't like college football weird, but like it was like odd to see teams go up and down more often than not.
I mean, I think you could say that about any college football season. Like, you never know what can happen in these kind of seasons because one thing can lead to another and things just change. I remember when we were in like late October, early November, Michigan State was still in the playoff hunt. And then they had some crazy loss to Purdue that knocked them out. And then even Iowa was up there. And I was now playing in some bowl in Arizona, I think. But
is it the Arizona Bowl? I'll tell you in a bit. Keep talking.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the Arizona Bowl. No, I'm sorry. It's the Citrus Bowl. Playing Kentucky. But the fact that anything can change within the season, it just shows how much like this means to teams. And now that we're seeing a group of 5 team get a chance to shine on the national spotlight, it's going to show how far the sport has really progressed.
Oh yeah, I mean it's better that way. Like I remember when Boise State was going undefeated, and I was a kid still. Like I didn't even know. I remember when I bought or rented NCAA. I don't remember what year it was. I'm like, who the hell is this guy with a blue helmet with a horse on his head? Like, what is this? And then like years later, I'm like, oh, you're the guys that beat Oklahoma that one time. Oh,
you gotta reenact the Statue of Liberty play from the Cristobal.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Oh, it's you guys. You guys went undefeated but played nobody. That's why the computers didn't pick you guys. It all makes sense now. But yeah, like it's come full circle.
You gotta
Now,
say that
it only,
Fiesta Bowl win for Boise State really put them on the map because no one really talked about them after.
no, exactly. Because USC was running amok, remember?
Don't remind me of what the glory days were like.
Oh gosh, we don't want to get into that, but yeah, like how you said, like it's come full circle. Like we've got it only took a couple years. It only took like how long has the college football been around for? Like
College football has been around for more than 150 years.
no, I meant the playoffs.
I think we're on like year 6 or year 7.
Yeah, it only took them almost 10 years to properly put in an undefeated team. When we had Central Florida, who also went undefeated, just be ignored. Like, bro, like that makes no damn sense.
Well, at least we know Cincinnati's making the group of 5 proud.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, was there anything else that you would say was weird? I mean, for me, like I said, like I mentioned before, like just seeing these teams go up and down, like, and what I mean by weird, like, and going up and down, like as I mentioned before when we started this segment, Alabama was not a lock. They were not a lock. If they would have lost to Georgia, they would have been out. That's what I mean by like everyone was going up and down. Everyone had a chance to get knocked out. Not like other seasons.
Yeah, but I feel like even then, like I think I'm pretty sure I had Alabama. Let me go back actually to my notes that I have open. I'm pretty sure I had Alabama winning the SEC. I did.
I mean, if they win the SEC, then yeah, they're a shoe-in into the playoffs.
That I have my notes right in front of me. I said Alabama runs the SEC, but keep a close eye on Georgia. But I'm never gonna bet against King Saban.
Do you happen to have what I said? Because I don't. I threw them in the trash.
You just said Bama because they run the SEC.
Because they do know. Yo, God bless Mr. Bryant and Nick Saban is the closest thing to Jesus Christ. SEC, y'all.
But
dude, I'm pretty sure there's people that say that Nick Saban is the closest thing to Jesus Christ.
Nick Saban is the reincarnate of Jesus Christ. In Tuscaloosa and Tuscaloosa only.
Nah, I'm pretty sure all Alabama probably say that.
What about Alabama A&M, Alabama State?
Oh gosh, don't even start. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You love college football as much as I do,
if not more.
Yeah, if not more, you understand what I mean when I say that.
Let's see, what am I supposed to do during the off season?
I don't know. Go watch soccer.
Oh, that sport? No, I'm kidding.
Which is coming up, so you better get your britches ready.
I better get my cleats.
But yeah, I mean, is there anything else you would like to point out? Any other bowl game you want to point out before we end this segment? Because we're starting to trail off.
No, I think the bowl season this year is. I don't want to say it's looking bleak, but it gives me something to watch during Christmas.
Yeah,
and the fact that my Trojans aren't playing for a bowl for the second time in
your existence,
3 years. Yeah, second time in 3 years.
In your existence, that's weird to say.
It's hard to watch other teams playing a bowl and it's not yours.
Yeah.
Now I know how UCLA fans felt all those 4 and 8 years.
Bruh, I can't. Well, if you're another college football fanatic, I could read you off some bowl games that might catch your fancy. In the Texas Bowl on January 4th, we got Kansas State going up against LSU. In the Citrus Bowl, as Daniel already mentioned, we got Iowa going up against Kentucky. In the Outback Bowl, we got Penn State going up against Arkansas. And in probably the most randomest bowl game I've seen and read, on December 31st, we got in El Paso, Texas.
The Sun Bowl.
No. Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Is it? No, you're kidding.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kellogg's Frosted Flakes has the naming rights to the bowl game.
But it's called. You're joking.
Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
All right, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Hold on.
Miami versus Washington State.
Yes, that is the Sun Bowl.
Oh my gosh. All right, then
Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
what the hell is the Arizona one then?
I don't think that it's a Pac-12 tie-in.
Well, it's Central Michigan versus Boise State.
So it's a Mountain West against an at-large, I think.
And then we got the Tax Slayer Bowl with Wake Forest and Texas A&M. I think. Okay, I'm not gonna read all these. What the hell? Oh my goodness. The Quick Lane Bowl, Western Michigan versus Nevada. We got the Military Bowl, ECU versus Boston College. We got is it the Hawaii Bowl?
Memphis and Hawaii.
Apparently they're changing the bowl games now. Hawaii, Memphis and Hawaii.
But how about the Jimmy Kimmel Los Angeles Bowl?
Oh gosh, is that what it was? Oh my god, yeah. Because I was looking them up and all of them just say LA Bowl. I'm like, what the hell is it? I'm like, bro, can you guys pick a damn name? So it's the Jimmy Kimmel
Los Angeles Bowl.
You gotta be joking. I thought that was a joke.
Nope, Mr. Kimmel bought the naming rights.
You gotta be kidding me. So I guess the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, you got Utah State versus Oregon State.
What a shame. San Diego State could have won a Mountain West championship and clinched their spot in that bowl game and had one more home game in LA and couldn't get it done.
I know, shaking my head.
I'm going to miss them when they play in Carson.
I'm not. I'm jacking up my field. Anyways, we got the Boca Raton Bowl with Western Kentucky and Appalachian State.
Let's go Mountaineers.
There you go. And I'm assuming the Bahamas
is in the Bahamas.
The Bahamas Bowl, Middle Tennessee versus Toledo. So yeah, if you guys want to watch some more college football, there's some college football games for you to go watch.
If you're sick of Christmas movies, Bowl Mania is the way to go.
There you go, dog. Let's go bowl. Oh, and one more for them UCLA fans, because Daniel just keeps capping on them. If you want to watch your team play, you go down to San Diego and watch them play at the Holiday Bowl at 5 p.m. on the Fox channel. UCLA versus NC State. So, yeah, we got a lot of bowl games. We got a lot of college football going on, man.
You want to watch no more Hallmark movies? Bowl Mania, folks.
Yep. And if you go on ESPN, you're just going to hear the Bowl Mania commercial 20 million times.
Like that's a bad thing.
I mean, that I did that one time because I was just watching college football. What happened to the Red Box Bowl?
So, you know what? No, that's a conversation.
That's a conversation. I just thought of that. I'm sorry. I just had a flashback.
That's a conversation for another day. I could talk about this all day long.
Yes, I know you can. That's another podium show that we're not going to have anymore because I said so and I'm in charge. And because this was the season review-ish show episode segment.
This deserved to have a review show of its own.
I can't see your face anymore, by the way, so I don't know if you're disappointed or not.
No. I don't know what happened to my camera, actually.
I'm disappointed. I can't see your beautiful face. And because your picture is you wearing a mask.
Mask up. Get vaccinated, people.
But yeah, so we're done talking about college football? We're done talking about football?
Yeah. Now, let's go from American football to football.
Football. Or you could just say football, but in a more European way. And what I mean by that, but not European, but American style, we got MLS playoffs and MLS Cup, guys. So yeah, this past month, MLS playoffs have been going on, and the MLS Cup is set. And the two teams competing for the MLS Cup this year is the Portland Timbers playing host to New York City Football Club. So yeah, are you excited for this, Daniel?
I mean, based on all the MLS I've watched this year, which have been very little, considering I went to my first Galaxy game for the first time in August.
Your first soccer game, I bet.
It was actually my first soccer game. And the fact that Team USA plays in our own backyard, and I only went to my first soccer game in August, I have to say I have enjoyed watching bits and pieces of the MLS playoffs, especially the East. New York City Football Club is a very dangerous team. I mean, if Philadelphia is at full strength, they probably give them a run for their money. But they had 11 players in COVID health and safety protocols, and they've come off of two very high dramatic wins. So I I'm really expecting this final between Portland and New York to be one for the books. Will I tune in? Probably, but not until the end.
Bruh, I'm surprised you even said half of that, considering, like how you said, you don't watch a lot of soccer. And yes, I do have another co-host that also does not watch soccer and also just barely watched the first game. What luck, right, everybody?
I'm sure you're very disappointed when your co-hosts tell you they don't watch soccer.
I mean, if you would have asked me when I was like 6 if I watched soccer, I would have been like ill, nasty. But now I like it. So that's life. But yeah,
We all have different likes.
and sometimes they change over years, not over a minute. But yeah, just to go over the playoffs very, very quickly. So please pay close attention to what I'm about to say. All right, everybody, you're gonna listen, Daniel.
I'm listening.
All right. So in the playoffs, starting off, we had Philly beating the Red Bulls in extra time 1-0. And then we had KC beating Vancouver very easily. And then, as you mentioned, New York City, they faced off Atlanta in their home stadium at their baseball stadium, which I don't know why they play at a baseball stadium because it's stupid and they have a small field. But on the small field, New York was able to defeat Atlanta. Then we go back to the Timbers. Timbers beat Minnesota. Back in the Eastern Conference, Nashville beat Orlando. Salt Lake upset Seattle in penalties somehow, some way. The strong and durable Seattle Sounders were defeated by Salt Lake. Then to the Timbers, once again, they defeated the number 1 seed Colorado on Thanksgiving, destroying the Rapids. Great season. Very disappointing to see and hear when I saw the score. Then continuing on in the Western Conference, Salt Lake once again was the upset, defeating KC, going down 1 goal and then coming back to win 2-1 with a last-minute goal-winning victory. Sorry, I got my tongue tied there. I'm going rapid fire. Then back to the East, Philly beat Nashville. And then once again, New York City took out the number 1 seed New England Revolution, who won the Supporters' Shield led by their new head coach, Bruce Arena, the legendary Bruce Arena, who were unable to get over the New York City hump. And then finally, in the Western Conference Final, Portland was able to take out the Salt Lake City Destroyers, as I like to describe them, because they destroyed the whole entire Western Conference playoffs. And then finally, because I'm running out of breath, New York took out the mighty Philly, who also were doing really well in the playoffs. So yeah, that now brings us to where we are today. Portland Timbers versus New York City Football Club. How's that sound, Daniel? Did you catch all that, everybody?
I feel like we had a lot of good soccer to bring us to this point.
No, yeah, it was all good soccer because you had an overtime game that started off. You had a game on Thanksgiving, which was kind of weird to watch and hear when they released the schedule. But hey, Colorado finally had a full stadium. Haha, that's a joke. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this game. This is Portland's 3rd appearance in the MLS final, MLS Cup. Where do I have it? I have it here on my notes somewhere. Where did you go? Yes. Their first appearance was in 2015, where they went to Columbus and defeated the Columbus Crew to win their first MLS Cup in 2015. And their last MLS Cup appearance was in 2018 when they were defeated by Atlanta United, but that year no one was going to beat that team. And yeah, this is New York City's first MLS Cup appearance in their 6 year of existence. I mean, I know you don't know, but Portland will be supported by Sebastian Blanco, Felipe Mora, and their old-time favorite, their old veteran, Diego Valeri, who's been there for years, to my knowledge, former MLS MVP, by the way. And for New York, I have Maxi Morales, Valentino Castellanos, and Sean Johnson, the goalkeeper, in the net, supporting this team. I know you had mentioned it in the beginning. Yeah, New York, they were like the sleeper. No one really ever saw them as a threat even though they were like that middle team in the Eastern Conference, and I won't even say even throughout the whole league, they were that middle team that like just sat in the middle of the table. They didn't go nowhere really. No one really saw them as a threat. But hey, look where they are now. I mean, you could probably say that Philly not having 6 of their starters and the others, like, I was coming off the bench, like, hurted them in the end. But hey, New York earned it. They defeated the number 1 seed. They got this far. I mean, it's not like they wouldn't go play up. I mean, like, Philly, in my opinion, is a stacked team, even though they did have to, at the last second, Mickey Mouse their formation and their team at the last minute. But it's not like New York played great football. They didn't play a lot of good soccer against Philly. Even their own head coach in the post-game interview said, yeah, we sat back too much. We let them have the ball too much. We need to fix that. But hopefully they'll get that all under control. As in, I would like to also mention Castellanos for New York did have a red card suspension in the Philly game. So he should be ready to play in this final. Same thing for Portland, who are missing Sebastian Blanco, who was only on the bench for emergency purposes. So he too should be ready to play in this final. So on paper, both teams should have 110% their full roster available. So we're looking for a very good MLS Cup. What do you think?
Let me ask you this, Robert. Who do you think wins the MLS Cup?
Oh, man. This is a hard one because New York, I think, is like the underdog, but Portland playing at home in Soccer City, USA. I want to say Portland defeats New York 2-1. But if the game is close 2-1, I might say Portland 3-1 for fun. Getting like a late goal for fun,
What about a legitimate prediction?
That is my legitimate prediction. I think Portland's going to win. What are you talking about, Willis? Do you think I'm lying? Wow.
It's cap.
That is not cap. That is legit. I'm just worried that New York is going to pull something out of their ass,
Right.
Pull a rabbit out of the hat at the last second.
But that's the beauty of playoff soccer.
Yes, that is also true. And it is a final, so there's nothing to lose except losing the game.
Except your pride and dignity.
Yeah, you gotta lay it all on the floor. You gotta play all your marbles. You gotta play all your cards right. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you don't, why are you in the final?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Portland's been knocking on the door for the past 2-3 seasons. I mean, to also add to the fact that Portland, I believe, won the MLS's back tournament. So it's not like they don't know what they're doing. Like, they have the only other thing, back to our old Alabama topic, is that Portland has much more experience in these situations than New York does. The only difference is that Portland is the older team and New York is the younger team, and that's it. I mean, in that case, you could draw this up as Portland being around since the NASL in the 70s versus the new team that is owned by 2 very rich organizations in New York City. I mean, not New York City, Manchester City and the New York Yankees. So there you go. There's your storyline.
That's a very interesting take there, Robert.
It is a good, interesting take. You should go write about it or something.
I haven't written in so long. I'm a little rusty.
I haven't written either, but here we are today, still doing what we like, talking about sports, right?
Exactly.
And yeah, I think it's still going to be a competitive game because in the Philly New York game, which I was able to see, it was a sleeper up until the first shot was taken. As in, Philly scored, and then no later than 2 minutes, New York tied it. It was like, dude, what the hell's going on here?
Soccer, baby.
Yep. At least I like how you're catching on. Like, people will be like, hey, so do you think so-and-so can win? I'm like, hey, man, if they're not number 1 in first place on the table in the standings, they're most likely going to tie or lose. So don't ask me who's going to win.
The one thing that I'm really wanting MLS to do is stop ending games and draws and let's just see PKs.
We're not going to do that.
I know
You gotta,
it's
you
sad.
you gotta turn back the time machine to go to that when he used to have like the hockey penalties. That was hilarious.
The shootout, the PK shootout.
Yeah, and also just to let you know, sir, they don't like it when you say PK. It's penalty, penalties.
PK, PK, PK. It's like Beetlejuice.
They're gonna be like, oh, "You American."
And proud. But I'm still trying to wrap my finger around getting onto soccer. So thank you for taking on this segment, Robert.
Oh, no, that's all good. I mean, this is what happens when me and Danny talk. The only difference is that I make him watch the games. I make him watch the highlights. But yeah,
Maybe I should just watch the best goals of 2021.
oh yeah, you could do that too, or you could watch the final. And just to let you know, the thing with my take and the setup of Portland v New York, old time versus the new time, is that they love soccer. There's a reason why it's referred to as Soccer City, USA. It's literally painted on the seats. What does it say? CS USA on the seats. I kid you not. Soccer, no, SC USA.
Yeah, I was gonna say
USA.
City Soccer USA. I mean, same message, just wrong spelling.
Yeah, my bad, but you get the point.
And you graduated with a degree in journalism. What a
I'll
shame.
be quiet. Soccer City, USA. So people love their soccer out there. They have good fans. It's going to be loud. It's going to be a ruckus out there in Portland. So let's hope the game equals the energy and the hype. You feel me?
All you need is your Galaxy to get back there once again.
Don't even get me started, bro. We need to make the playoffs first for that to happen. To give us a chance.
You can thank Real Salt Lake for
No, we could thank them damn refs for not going to instant replay when that guy that scored the game-winning goal for Real Salt Lake hit the ball with his hand first and then scored the goal. That's what happened.
Are you still pressed about that, Robert?
No, but what are you going to do? It's soccer. There's always going to be the dramatics. It's like telenovela, except more sweaty and maybe boring.
See, maybe I got to start going to Galaxy games with you more often.
No, yeah, that's what we got to go do. Or we could go to some Angel City FC games at the Bank of California Stadium.
Maybe
some women's soccer.
Maybe I might start working for Angel City FC.
Hey, chill, bro. You don't got to stunt like that.
Hey, I almost started working with LA Galaxy too some time ago, so it's not that far out of reach.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, do you have anything else to add with your not knowledge of soccer?
Go MLS. That's all I got.
You're so stupid.
Go MLS.
Go MLS, bro. Did you ever watch? Or there's MLS. There's a Simpsons episode where you just cap on soccer, where it's Homer and everyone they're watching TV and this random commercial with like a globe spinning. It goes like, we're gonna have Mexico versus Portugal with Arriaga and Arriaga versus Arriaga and Arriaga. Come down to the stadium and see who is the best in the world in soccer.
Me, vamos MLS.
Yeah, and then Homer and like the whole city goes to go see Mexico play Portugal. But of course, like the commercial had like the globe explode, so it made it all hype. And then they go to the game and it's just boring and they start booing and then they start a soccer riot for no reason.
Me, vamos MLS.
Oh gosh, you sound like the commercials. This is soccer. Esto es fútbol. This is MLS.
It'll grow on me.
Maybe let's give it like 2 years.
Give me at least a year and a half.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I'll make you like soccer, but is that all you got to say?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, it's time to move to the warm-up. And in regards to waiting a year and a half, hopefully what doesn't take a year and a half to settle is this MLB lockdown. Because then we're not going to have no baseball. I'm going to be really sad.
Look, free agency's already taken a lot out of me. Now we have the lockout, which makes things worse. I think this is the third lockout I've experienced in a lifetime.
Yeah, the NBA lockout.
The NFL lockout.
If you want to add the MLS lockout, or it wasn't a lockout, but they had a league stoppage, which was not fun at all.
The cancellation of the 04-05 NHL season.
Oh yeah, huh?
I remember that one.
All right, we're making this more depressed than it is, but yeah. So we just wanted to go over the MLB lockout really quick for the warm up today, which is basically this: the MLB Players Association feels that the way that the organizations and the teams have been hiring is unfair to older players and also younger players who are coming into the league, or the older players who have been in the league, as in it is easier for the teams to pay lower wages to rookies in like a 6-year span, as in they could pay them $500,000 in 6 years and then be done with them. Because then when they become older veteran players who have been around second or third gen, I guess I could say it in that way, they won't get paid diddly squat or be overlooked because now they are worth too much because they have too many experience and too much time in the league. And now the Player Association, feel like it is time for the league to oversee that and make it easier for those older players and younger players to be selected when they do sign their contracts. Did that make any sense, Daniel, or should I like dumb it down a bit?
No, it makes sense. The players want to be heard through their service time, and the league doesn't want to do anything about it. So it's become a point of contention to where now the owners and the league offices locking out their players until they all come back to the table and work out a deal.
Yeah, so basically, like, do you want to see it that when you're a rookie and you're in your prime, you get paid what you deserved? So it's not like you get paid a little bit and then come out of your contract and ask for more money and get rejected because you're an older player who's about to turn 30 or been in the league for too long. So teams are going to say, well, you're good, but you cost too much. So now we can't we could do nothing for you. You got to go play somewhere else. So, and to make it more simple, rookies are getting paid cheaply while the older guys who have been around for a while are getting overlooked because they cost too much. So they want to see if they could fix that. Luckily, I don't like when they do lockouts because you don't know how long these are going to go for, right?
Right.
But this is the main thing that they're trying to fix. So luckily, the season just ended about a month ago. We were only going to have winter meetings, which do and don't make big splashes every couple of years. And all we got to do is just sit around and hope that they figure it out before, spring training comes around. Because what I found through my research is that, let's say we give it a soft deadline of February 1st, right? Not all the camps will open because not everybody says their schedules. So even if there is a scramble, it would allow enough time for players to get to where they are to be, for training. So, there's no winter meetings, there's nothing through December or January. So the shutdown is going to affect games or events, right? The only time
if they can't get a deal done before February 1st, it will affect games.
No, it won't affect games until we get into spring training, because that would mean we were losing games, and that means we're losing money. So I highly doubt that the teams and the owners would accept that. That is when they would be like, all right, now we're in trouble. Now we're in the shits,
I feel like the lockout was imminent just because when COVID shut down everything in 2020 and they were trying to negotiate the restart of the regular season, they weren't even able to come to an agreement on an actual length of the season, which is why the 60-game season was implemented in 2020.
That is true, but that's not like the main thing that they're going over. Like, I
Right.
mentioned the MLS one because the MLS one was like pretty shitty, because the reason why they went into a lockdown was because when they stopped play, they had to like renegotiate a lot of the contracts And when they went into the lockout, they were like, hey, like, there is a lot that, in comparison, okay, look, let me put it like this. MLB, there's a lot of MLB players that make twice as much as the least paid guy in the MLS, okay? So there's a lot of guys that had a lot of smaller paid contracts that weren't going to get their money because they're like, hey, we can't pay you. And it's like, what do you mean you can't pay us when we're in a pandemic and you're asking us to go play out there when we all have lives in other places? And like, it just got very, very complicated very, very quick.
It got contentious really quick.
Yes, and it didn't help either that the players, I mean, not that they were begging, but they were just, I mean, no, yeah, they were begging for better compensation for being told, hey, go kick a ball and we'll pay you a little bit. When they're like, no, you're telling us to go kick a ball when people are dying outside. And another, oh, and on top of that, you guys still owe us like a bunch of other shit.
Right.
So they're like, you're asking us to go kick a ball, help our families, and also we don't want to be riding in public airlines anymore. Give us our private jets.
Give us a chartered flight.
Yes, we want our charter flights. There we go. That's the word I was thinking about. Because fun, just to let you know, because I know you don't know, and a lot of other people listening to this probably don't know this, but for the longest time, MLS teams traveled on charter flights with at least 3 what would you call first class seats available. So it's not like MLS is as high as MLB in this sense, which I didn't want to dive into this, but just for comparison's sake, I just wanted to compare and contrast. So there was a lot riding on those negotiations, which took a little over a month, I believe, because you had to push back the season a little bit, which hopefully doesn't happen with the MLB because that's a lot more money they would lose.
Right.
But I mean, I feel like they'll be able to settle it. I just don't know when, of course, because now we just got, not because we're talking about it, but now we just got to wait. So yeah, that's the situation that's going on. But at least it's one simple thing to my knowledge, and not like a multiple of things like in the MLS when they had their situation.
Well, there's only one way to find out when this can all resolve itself.
I mean, you tell me, what do you think of all this situation?
I think the players do have a gripe. And as far as when we all think the lockout's going to end, both sides are mudslinging each other. So I think they're not going to let it get to a point to where regular season games are going to be at risk, because we both know both sides care a lot about money. So when you lose spring training games, you lose revenue. And when you lose revenue, it means the players are losing money on top of the league. So I don't think they're going to let it get to that point.
I mean, it might. I mean, look, we had it in the NBA. Look where the season starts now. It starts in, I mean, before, like, when we came back from, like, the pandemic also, like, look where we're starting now. We're starting, like, almost in, last time when we started almost in, like, what, December? Like,
It was a Christmas Day start.
Yeah, like, that was weird. Like, bruh. So, I mean, fingers crossed that to get this all figured out, because I like my baseball. I know you like your baseball. We literally had a 2-hour show about baseball. So, yeah, hopefully they figure this out, man.
Gotta love it.
No, I don't want to love it because I have to wait. Like, we don't know what's going to go on in there. Like, they're not going to come out and say, well, someone's going to tweet and say, oh, yeah, we had a good day or we had a bad day. But no one's going to say, like, this guy is a jerk. We don't like him. I mean, people are probably saying that about Rob Manfred, low key, but or actually high key. Everyone kind of hates that guy, but the commissioner. But what are you gonna do about it? You know?
I mean, no one's really liked Rob Manfred since everything with Houston went down, but that's beside the point of what's really going on.
Hey, man. Sometimes feelings are hard to put aside.
You got that right.
But yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to say about this before we move on?
I hope by February 1st, everybody can come to an agreement. So we're back enjoying America's pastime by the time March rolls around.
You damn right, America.
Merc. I want to see my Dodgers back in the World Series, even without all of our free agents.
Tony, that's an episode for another time, bro. Or you can start your own podcast and talk about the Dodgers.
maybe you can be a guest.
I can be a guest.
Be a guest on my podcast.
I mean, that'd be cool. And you could promote my podcast, and I'll promote your podcast.
Well,
are you thinking about it?
I'm thinking about it.
We can't have dead silence, bro. This is your third time on my programming, and you're giving me dead silence. What the hell is wrong with you?
I'll think about it.
I need you to, yeah, exactly. I need you to tell me you're going to think about it. You can't just think about it, because we can't have dead air, sir. Come on, man. Come on, man. From the NFL Monday Night Football. Come on, man. And he doesn't watch NFL. God damn it. But yeah, so are you ready for the rundown, bro?
Let's go for the rundown.
All right. So whatever time we got left, just go in a deep dive. All right. I have this in order on my notes, but because I know you like to talk about this, we're going to go into the second one that I have, which is college coaches moving around. And you already know what I'm talking about, bud. But don't go into
the coaching carousel.
No. Don't go into the one I know you're going to talk about first. Okay.
Yes, I will say that one for later.
Okay, I got two on my mind. Okay, we could talk about it.
Okay. Hit me with it.
I'll let you do a third one for fun after. The first one, I'll give you a clue. Their mascot is a tiger. And then the other mascot is a leprechaun. Who am I talking about?
Alex, what is Brian Kelly for 500?
Yes, you are correct. Mr. Brian Kelly moved from Notre Dame to LSU. What's going on?
You know, I wasn't expecting him to pick up and leave Notre Dame just because what he's built there in 12 years. And the fact that he feels he's ready for the brunt of the SEC. I don't know if this is the right move for LSU moving forward.
Bro,
however,
he wants to go up against the SEC, bro. The way you just said it.
the man picked up a Southern accent faster than anybody I know. I don't know if you watched the video of him at the men's basketball game talking to the fan base, but
I saw the interview clip.
It's a great day to be a tiger. Sir, you're not from Louisiana. You're not from Louisiana.
Oh my gosh, bro. That fool's wild. But all I gotta say is roll tide, SEC football. God bless Mr. Bryant. Nick Saban's closest thing to Jesus Christ.
He's got to deal with Saban every year now.
Oh man, I think he signed up for something that he can't afford.
Hey, I mean, if it's better money for him and his family, go for it. But if
he's already getting paid good money at where he was at, don't give me none of that crap.
If he thinks he's ready for a new challenge, why not?
Yeah, this is a life
thing. Go for it.
This is not a smart life decision, in my opinion. Like, you should just stay at Notre Dame, man. Like, if Mr. Coach O couldn't do it, what makes you think you're gonna do it?
Yes, but you have to remember, Mr. Coach O had off the field issues.
I mean, I guess, but
I really do think some of those off the field issues mirrored his reputation, because he had won a national championship 2 years ago, and then he just kind of took a nosedive this year. And the fact that he had to part ways after winning a national championship no more than 2 years ago, it just shows it was more than football.
I mean, I mean, of course, it's not the first time that this has happened in college football, where a coach is just too rowdy off the field and you got to get rid of him. And it's always college coaches too, which is kind of weird. Like, it's never an NFL coach.
Enter Urban Meyer.
Oh gosh, shut up. I mean, I'm not even going to get into that right now, but yeah, like, it's always a college coach that just for some strange reason just starts acting up, and it's like, bro, you're still at college. Like, you're not a professional. You want to go be a professional? Go be an NFL. And then, sorry to say this, but the likelihood that your college tactics work in the NFL are slim to none. So
Say some have made it work. Look at Pete Carroll. Leaves USC to go to Seattle. He won 2 Super Bowls, but only now is he kind of starting to falter a little bit.
well, he's getting old, fool.
But then you look at coaches like Jim Harbaugh, who spent time at Stanford, thought he was ready for the NFL, takes the 49ers to the Super Bowl, to only then come back to college. He knows what works, so he's stuck with it. But now you're asking Brian Kelly to pick up what he built at Notre Dame and do it to an even bigger program. I don't think the model goes well.
No, I mean, I don't think any model ever goes well in college football when you move abruptly. Because, like, yeah, like, I don't think no one really saw this one coming. Like, why would he do that? Like, it makes no sense in any way.
Like I said, I think Coach Kelly was just ready for a new challenge in his life.
I guess. I mean, you want to go down south, be my guest.
Let's watch him get smacked by Bama every year.
Yep, there you go. That's your present. Merry Christmas.
God can't save you now, Coach.
Yep. You're a fool. Actually, there's no luck on your side anymore, buddy.
The luck of the Irish did not follow you to Baton Rouge.
Nope. Only Tony the Tiger. He's waiting for you at the gate.
I'm sorry, no. His name is Mike the Tiger. Thank you.
Okay, whatever. I was making a joke back to the Tony the Tiger Bowl.
Yes, but when you're talking to a college football enthusiast like me, you can't make those kind of jokes.
I don't care if Colorado has a real life buffalo run onto the field.
It's Ralphie.
And if you can't explain to me why Auburn is also a tiger but has an eagle fly around the stadium, don't talk to me.
Don't disrespect the tradition of college football.
Hey, man, don't disrespect War Eagle. Hey.
Weagle, War Damn Eagle.
All right, we're getting off topic. But, okay, here's the deal. You can talk about the main one, and I'll let you pick one more for fun. Is that cool?
Talk about the main one and then pick one more for fun. Can I do the fun one first and then the big one?
Okay.
Go out with it?
Okay, but this is the rundown, so don't be too long, okay?
You got it. Look, the fact that Mario Cristobal has now left Oregon, where he signed an extension in the offseason to go back home to Miami. Can I just say 9 days before the early signing period, that is I don't want to say it's the stupidest thing he could have done, but now that you think about it, when you lose to Utah twice in a 2-week span, maybe you were kind of 2 feet in, 2 feet out the entire time. But now this is kind of going back to where Oregon was before Mario Cristobal, when Willie Taggart was the head coach of the Ducks, and he only lasted all but 1 season. But that's beside the point. The biggest coaching hire that this carousel has seen this offseason, Mr. Lincoln Riley, picked him and his family up off the ground of Norman, Oklahoma, and came down to sunny Southern California to take over none other than the USC Trojans.
They took that private jet that they promised him.
Hey, if it means I get to see the parent every weekend and I get the jet 24/7, I'm taking that contract too.
With like that $100 million signing bonus or whatever. That's supposedly.
When you don't even put the contract into consideration, it was like Lincoln Riley wasn't even on anybody's radar when this search started back in September. So when you really think about it, USC did a fantastic job of keeping this quiet. And the fact that they were able to get this done shows, yeah, they were willing to take the bumps in the road with the football program, but now they actually care enough to where they want to see them win again. So why not bring in a proven winner who's taken Oklahoma to 3 college football playoffs? USC is going to be relevant again.
You mean they're going to be the mecca of college football?
I couldn't have said it any better myself.
Even though supposedly one of the players said that he told them that last week.
That's the business, buddy.
So for context, in the the press conference to introduce Mr. Riley, he said USC will once again be the mecca of college football. And then on a tweet with his quote, one of the Oklahoma players responded saying, "The coach told us that last week at Oklahoma." So
it's the beauty of the business. Sometimes you gotta read into your audience, and you can have more than one mecca of college football. But when it comes from the
hey man, don't let the people that go to Mecca hear you say that. Because there's a reason why there's only one
I was
Mecca.
gonna say Lincoln Riley's pulling a page out of the Hoodville playbook.
The what playbook?
Oh, I'm assuming you're not a Hoodville follower then. Never mind.
I am not, unfortunately. But maybe after the show you could tell me what that is.
I can tell you what it is off off the air.
Bruh. But yeah, I mean it was a big splash considering everyone thought he was gonna stay. He said he was gonna stay. And then it was like you wake up the next morning, it's like bam! Lincoln Riley to USC.
You finish 4-7. The next morning you wake up, confirmed Lincoln Riley to leave with Norman to head to Los Angeles. What happened? Mike Bone actually did something.
Hey man, this is what happens when you hire outside people, not from USC, do the job. He hires outside people to do another job at USC.
Amen.
Hey, who knows? Maybe your team will finally win something.
We might actually get into the college football playoff and be relevant.
You mean they might actually win the Pac-12?
The Pac-12 is just the first step of the equation.
Who are they going to face? Oregon?
Honestly, I don't even know who Oregon might pick up. So this could just be USC's conference to win, if I'm being completely honest. But I'm just trying to be optimistic, saying with Lincoln Riley coming in, we could be back in the national spotlight within the next 3 to 4 years, if not sooner.
Okay, at least you're not saying like next year. He still got to do some scouting. He still has players on the roster that he doesn't know.
The man hasn't even slept in his own bed, and he's out on the road recruiting for the future. That's what we call persistence.
I mean, that's the name of the game in college football, no?
He's trying to turn us into the mecca of college football.
Gosh, I don't want to hear that.
Back where we belong.
Honestly, I don't even want it. I just want the team to be good. I don't need no mecca. I just need the team to be good. Can you just give me that? Is it that hard to play in the Cotton Bowl or the Rose Bowl? Like, you don't even got to get me into the playoffs. Just get me into the top 10 at least.
Look, I remember when USC used to own the Rose Bowl. I'd love it to be back to those days again, where we're flooding Pasadena on New Year's Day.
And then destroying teams like Illinois and Penn State.
Michigan. Or we have an instant classic like the 2006 national championship between Texas and USC.
Hey, shut up. We don't talk about that here.
Trust me, it's painful for all of us to talk about.
We
If
don't
we're
talk
not
about
Texas
that on the
fans.
show. I might kick you off now. I don't know. You're being sus now.
Insert Among Us theme.
But yeah, is that all you have to say about the coaching carousel in college football right now?
I feel like there's more coming, but
Well, we don't got time for that. So
yeah, no, I know there's more coming, but
say your last words or we're moving on.
We're moving on.
All right. The next other thing I would like to point out that happened in the sports world was Mr. Lionel Messi winning another Ballon d'Or. If you don't know what the Ballon d'Or is, or gold ball, it is basically the MVP for soccer around the world. Yes, that is a thing. And Messi recently just won his 7th Ballon d'Or. The last one he won in 2019 this year he was able to skim out Mr. Robert Lewandowski from Bayern Munich. And yeah, I mean, it was a big deal because everyone thought Lewandowski was going to win it because they didn't have it last year.
Did they hand it out? Did they hand it out in 20?
No, unfortunately, one of the European federations was like, "Hey, we're not having that." I think it was the French league was like, "Nah, we I don't think we should have it because we didn't get to play our games," which was total bullshit, honestly. Because even though they were playing in close games, Robert Lewandowski last year scored so many goals in so many games, it wasn't even fair to play Bayern Munich, considering they also did win the FIFA Club World Cup against Tigres. So everyone thought it was. I know there was a few people that thought it was slightly unfair, but I believe the reason why Messi won this Ballon d'Or, and he even somewhat stated it, was that winning the Copa America was like the main point for him to win it this year, which I guess, yeah, but I think if Lewandowski would have continued playing the way he did last season, he would have won it outright. Not saying that Messi doesn't deserve it because he's a really good football player, but once you win 7, it's like, damn,
Sure.
let someone else win it, But now I believe he has 2 more than his longtime rival at Real Madrid, Ronaldo. And yeah, I mean, he is a great football player. What are you gonna do? It's Messi. The only thing he hasn't won is a World Cup.
Do you think before he retires he'll finally get a World Cup?
I don't know. I mean, he didn't threaten. He legit told the Argentinian Soccer Federation or organization, whatever they're referred to as, "I'm not playing with this team no more. You guys have not scoured the earth to find an Argentinian that could play alongside me." Not that he was better than everybody else, that he was saying that the team is just not good enough and that it's not worth his time when people in the organization do not care either. So, I mean, he had his chance. He unfortunately lost to Germany. So, and I think it was the 2014 World Cup. So, I want to say maybe it was a big deal that Messi won the Copa America, when the final whistle blew, the whole team ran to him because that was one of the other things I don't think he had. Yeah, he hadn't won that either, actually. I don't know why I said, yeah, the World Cup was the one thing he was missing. But yeah, finally winning Copa America, got over that hump. And I mean, I guess, yeah, that's what was able to get him the win. Oh, just to let everybody know, Messi in the voting finished with 613, and that was only 33 more than Lewandowski, the runner-up.
It's not horrible.
No, yeah, it's not horrible, but I think people, for fun, would have liked to have seen Lewandowski. Because, yeah, I mean, just for variety's sake, just for fun. Can we just have this one thing for fun? Give it to someone else, give it to him next year. Because Messi's going to be around still. He's 34 years old. He still has... That's another thing, too. He's 34, so I think he still has some gas in him,
How much gas? We don't know.
We don't know. At this point, him and Ronaldo are going to be playing at 40 years old, juking people and scoring bicycles.
As long as they keep their bodies in check.
Have you not seen Ronaldo, sir?
Oh, I know. I've seen Ronaldo.
Bro, the man is shredded. To a T.
The man is in better shape than LeBron James.
Hey, and he has better hair.
Okay, don't diss LeBron like that.
Well, I will diss LeBron like that. And if we have nothing else to say about Mr. Lionel Messi winning another Ballon d'Or, I would like to use this as a transition. Because speaking of LeBron, do you know where LeBron James plays basketball?
Currently, or where he will be?
Both.
Currently, he plays at an office supply warehouse that currently has the naming rights called Staples Center. But starting December 25th, I think it's going to have a new name.
No, it's not. I think, sir. because it will.
To me, it'll always be Staples Center.
It will be Staples Center, the house that Mr. Kobe Bryant's built. And unfortunately, they will be renaming it to Crypto.com Arena. What in the hell? What in the hell, man?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Crypt.
No, you gotta say it the right way. You're gonna be like, I don't know, what would you say? Like, hello, Laker fans. Welcome to
Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to Crypto.com Arena.
Tonight.
It already just sounds stupid rolling off my tongue.
I mean, you're the professional, so you made it sound nice, but the thing is, though, not everyone's you. So when I go out and say it, I'm gonna sound dumb.
Hello, everybody.
Hey guys, you guys want to go to the Crypto.com Arena and watch the Lakers play?
Hey, meet me at the Crypt.
Oh man, I don't think no one's gonna say that. I think a lot of people are still gonna say Staples Center, not just because they don't want to, only because they don't know. It'll
always be Staples Center to me.
Kind of like how Dignity Health Sports Park is still referred to as StubHub Center.
The Home Depot Center?
Yeah, or if it's not StubHub Center, it'd go back to Home Depot Center. I'm like, bruh.
How many naming rights have they had?
For Dignity Health Sports Park?
Yeah, how many naming rights have they had?
This is the third iteration. Dignity Health Sports Park is the third time.
So Home Depot was the original.
Yeah.
StubHub had its second.
Yep.
And then Dignity Health picked up the...
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to go make the rounds for the LA area, there was the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Now
okay, don't get me started on that one.
Which is now
the United Airlines field at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum.
Yes, and then there's SoFi Stadium, which is brand new. But then there's the Rose Bowl, which I'm surprised still hasn't gotten a name. But the one that hasn't changed also alongside is good old Dodger Stadium.
I just don't think they would ever touch a landmark like Dodger Stadium.
No, I think it is it is a LA historical landmark, but yeah, I don't think so. I think the Dodgers most likely will get a mascot before they change the name of the stadium.
Aren't you on that train that you think the Dodgers should have a mascot?
I don't know. I'm on the fence about it.
Do you not remember the Rally Bear from the playoffs from years ago?
No, I remember the Rally Banana.
The Angels have the Rally Monkey. The Dodgers have the Rally Bear.
Thank you, Kike, for the Rally Banana. But yeah, if you didn't get the main thing, Staples Center is going to change to Crypto.com Arena. I guess cryptocurrency is popular now. They're going to go with the thing that's a thing now. Staples. Do people even go to Staples anymore? So I guess that's probably their logistical reason of changing the name, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, we grew up with Staples Center. It's going to be kind of sad to see it go, considering, what's gone down there. Lakers play there, the Clippers play there, the Kings play there. The Sparks play there. They've had numerous concerts there, events there, boxing matches. So, yeah, we're going to miss the Staples Center, man.
I got to go to a game before they have the whole rebrand.
Well, they already started taking down the letters.
Yeah, they started taking down the sign already, but the arena is still known as Staples Center.
As of today, up until December 25th. So, you better hurry, fool. You're going to be late.
I got to find just cheap tickets.
Just go to a Clipper game and see if the tickets are cheap.
$6 in the upper corner, folks. Just so you know.
There you go.
Clipper tickets are cheap.
You know what's not cheap?
Laker tickets.
Yeah.
And the Lakers stink.
Hey, the season just started. Chill.
But
yeah. Staples Center changing their name. And I believe that's everything on the rundown for today. Before we start wrapping up, as we usually do after the rundown, Danny, do you have anything to say about your first time on a regularly scheduled Rambling Runoff program today? I
am honored every time I'm asked to come back here. I obviously need to brush up on my MLS, but with the MLS Cup coming up this weekend, it gives me an opportunity to do so. And now I can look at the Galaxy schedule for 2022, so I can come back when it's time and I can blow you all away with my newfound knowledge of MLS. In reality, though, I always appreciate the hospitality I'm shown here. I love being on this podcast. So, Robert, thank you again for having me. I really do appreciate it.
No problem. And I will start playing the music now. And yeah, you've been listening to the Rambling Runoff Sports Podcast. If you'd like to hear more from us, you can find us on Twitter at Off Rambling. If you want to find us on Instagram, you can find us at Rambling Runoff. Daniel, where can they find you on the socials?
They can find me on the socials on Twitter at The Real DP Tom and on Instagram at DTom the Announcer. So follow along.
Yes, and if you want to find me personally on Twitter, you can find me at Robert RY. Actually, I don't remember mine. I'm blanking out right now. I'm so tired. Sorry about that. But yeah. Oh yeah, Robert RRY. There you go. That's what it is. And thanks for listening to our podcast. If you're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, thank you for listening. If you're on YouTube, make sure you press that subscribe button and you press the like button, please. We appreciate your support. Once again, I am your host, Robert Rios, and this is my guest host, Mr.
Oh, me now?
Yes, you now. I'm leaving this in, by the way.
It's D-Tom for short. Daniel Tom, thanks again.
Yep. See you guys next week. Bye.